Hi there, welcome to a brand new Plants Doctor video. My name is Carlijn and today's topic is about a vital life necessity, water. Water is everywhere, in and around us. There are so many aspects of water that not a lot of us are familiar with, but are very crucial for our plants. Water is important for plants since it helps to carry nutrients from the soil through the plant to where it's needed, like leaves or flowers. Excess water will be released through the stomata, which are tiny holes within the plant's leaves. The excess water evaporates into the sky. This whole process also helps with photosynthesis, which is the way that plants produce energy and how they grow. Now you know why water is important, and I will continue with telling you everything you need to know about water, so you can become an even more skilled plant parent than you already are. Water exists of multiple components. Some of these are chemicals or substances that can harm your plant. Others are actually beneficial for your plants. Water has a pH value. pH determines how acidic or how basic a substance is. The higher the pH, the more basic. The lower the pH, the more acidic. The preferred pH from plants can differ per species. Philodendron like their pH between 4.5 and 6, but Begonia like them between 6 and 8. So you should try to find some sort of middle ground to water your plants. But I will explain what you might see on your plants when you provide them with the wrong pH. A pH that is too high causes that your plant's nutrients will decrease and are not available to your plant anymore. You might see the following symptoms. Chlorosa, which is a disease due to lack of nutrition in which the leaves get pale. The tip of the leaf is dead, stunted or wilted leaves, spot of leaf necrosis, brown spots on leaves, and dark green leaves tinged with red, bronze or purple. A too low pH disrupts photosynthesis, which is a vital process that the plant has to create energy for itself. This can cause the following symptoms: stunted growth, brown spots on leaves, leaf necrosis, wilted, stunted or twisted leaves, leaf tip burn, and leaf chlorosis, where the leaf veins remain green but the rest of the leaf turns yellow. Now we know what pH is and what the effects are of giving your plants water with the wrong pH. I will continue with the most common types of water that you can provide your plant with. The most commonly used water is tap water. The quality of tap water differs drastically per country. It can contain substances that are harmful for your plants. This does not mean that you can't use tap water to water your plants. You can reduce the chemicals in your tap water by filling up your watering can at least 24 hours before you want to water your plants. This will help with chemicals evaporating from the water. Tap water's pH is averagely between 7 and 8.5. Filtered water is tap water that has gone through a filtration process. This removes substances out of the water that are harmful for your plants. There are several ways of filtrations, but some of them can also eliminate substances out of the water that are good for your plants. Activated carbon filtration uses natural materials like wood or coconut shells that are heated to produce a charred product, which will absorb the substances from the water when it runs through it. The pH of filtered water is averagely between 6.5 and 7. Distilled water has been through a process of being boiled into vapor and condensed back into liquid. This removes impurities from the water like bacteria, viruses or other microorganisms. This water is almost 100% pure, but it does lack some nutrients for your plant, but this can also be given separately, which we will talk about later in this video. The pH of distilled water is 7, which is neutral. You can also collect rainwater for your plant. This is considered to be the best and cheapest water option for your plants. Rainwater is very soft and contains components that are beneficial for your plants. The pH of rainwater is 7, neutral. You can provide your plants with water at room temperature, which will be around 20 degrees. This is a perfect temperature since it makes sure the water has still a lot of oxygen and triggers the pump mechanism within the room. Most plant parents water their plants from the top. You can do this with a watering can or by placing your plant under the faucet. With top watering, it's hard to be sure on how much water you should provide your plant with. When you are watering your plants from the top, you are more likely to have mold growing on top of your soil. but it does flush away excess salts and minerals out of the soil. Bottom watering is when you place your plant inside her pot with holes in the bottom, inside water. You let your plant soak up what she needs and let the excess drain out. This will make sure she can have the right amount of water, and it will also help prevent pests since the top layer of the soil will stay dry. This way of watering does not flush the soil, so minerals can accumulate in here. This can result in plants not being able to take in other nutrients, which can result in nutrient shortage. The preference of water will differ per plant, so you can play around with these two methods. Plants should be watered accordingly to their specific needs. Some plants love to have slightly moist soil, others like it more on the drier side. To determine what your specific plant needs, you can find on our Plants Doctor page, Plant Care per Family. Here you'll find the information for the most common plant families. Most plants will need to be watered weekly. This can increase by a lot of heat and a low humidity, or decrease in a cold and humid environment. You can always check the soil's moistness with your finger. Does it feel dry? Your plant needs a sip of water. Does it feel moist? Your plant is still fine but can still go on for a while. Does it feel wet? Your plant is fine and you don't have to water your plant in the near future. We also have some cool tools to support you with your watering routine. This is the Tessa water meter. You can simply place her inside the soil next to your plant and she will show you how wet your soil is. Now you know when your plant is thirsty and when she's not. For a whole health examination, you can use the Naomi sensor, which you can see over here. Naomi will not only tell you about the watering needs of your plant, but also if she is receiving the right amount of light and how her nutrition is, and many more handy insights. Overwatering can cause a lot of troubles. Waterlogged soil causes roots to die, since they cannot absorb the oxygen that they need. This results in roots dying off and maybe some root rot. Symptoms that may occur due to overwatering are stunted growth with yellowing leaves, leaf scorch or leaf burn, water-soaked spots and blisters, or the plant starts rotting, and you can also attract lots of pests since the soil is more damp. You can try to save your plant by chasing out the soil and removing the roots that have died off. You might also need to treat the root rot if that has occurred. Underwatering might cause the following symptoms: drooping leaves, very dry soil, drying out very quickly after watering. This can also be because the plant is root bound in a pot that is too small for the plant. You can revive your plant by bottom watering her on a regular basis, since this will make sure she can soak up all the water that she needs. If your soil is dry and hard, water might have a hard time reaching the roots. You can poke some holes in the soil with a skewer to guide the water. Your plant would love to have some extra nutrition in the growing season, which is in spring and in summer. This will provide them with the extra energy that they need to become a bewildering version of themselves. Our plant's nutrition is almost 100% organic and suited for every houseplant. You can simply add it in your watering routine. The amount of nutrients that a plant needs can differ per species, but most plants will be fine with a monthly portion of nutrition. You can simply add it into your watering routine. The amount of nutrients can differ per plant species, but most plants will be fine with a monthly portion of nutrients. I hope this information will help you in the future with understanding what impact watering your plants have. If you have any question about this topic or any other topic, you can leave a comment on this video or reach out to us on Instagram. Until next time, dear plant lovers!